Namaste. In today's video, I will talk to you about Paschimottanasana, which is a forward bending asana in Hatha Yoga. The meaning of the word Paschima Uttanasana, I'll explain that first. Paschima means west. So in this asana, the west side of the body is stretched. There are four sides to our body. The front part of the body is called east. The back part, from back of the head till the heel, the entire back part is called west. The top of the crown, this is the north side of the body, and the bottom, the soles, this is the south. So east, west, north and south. So these are the four sides of the body. In this asana, the entire west side of the body is stretched, and that's why it's called Paschima Uttana Asana. Paschima means west, Uttana means an intense stretch, and asana means posture. This is a forward bending asana. This is one of the very important asanas in Hatha Yoga, which improves the flexibility of the spine towards the forward direction. It is said that yoga is the fountain of youth, and a person is only as young as his spine is flexible. So this is one asana which improves the flexibility of the spinal column towards the front. Now I'll talk to you about the benefits of this asana. The first important benefit of Paschimottanasana is on the digestive system. Most of the people, due to sedentary lifestyle, they get problems of digestion like acidity, constipation and related problems. Now this asana, when the body bends forward and flattens on the leg, it squeezes the foot pipe and most of the abdominal organs. Due to this compression or squeeze, a lot of benefits are achieved in the digestive system. So this asana is very helpful to reduce the problems of digestion, acidity, constipation and such related issues. Another benefit of this asana is the flexibility of the spine. Due to this forward stretch which is obtained on the entire back of the body, the flexibility of the spinal column improves to the front direction. Third benefit of this asana comes on the reproductive organs. Because of the forward bend and the squeeze of the gonads and the reproductive organs, it vitalizes these organs and thereby benefiting the reproductive system. One more important effect of this asana is on the heart. In Paschimottanasana, when we bend forward, the heart comes below the level of spinal column and squeezes the heart muscles, and the overall endurance of the person improves by continuous practice of this asana. It also has got good effects on other internal organs like liver, kidneys and all, because it compresses and squeezes all these internal organs. Now I will come to the contraindications of this asana. Those people who suffer from lower back pain, those who have slip disc problems and those who have undergone recent abdominal surgery may avoid this asana. Now I will explain to you how to perform this asana and then I will demonstrate the same. I start from Samasthiti with the back straight, arm straight, leg straight and pointed toes. With an inhale, I raise both the arms over the head, and with an exhale, I bend forward, keeping the chin forward and up, and initially touch the toe. So in the beginning, you may not be able to touch the toe. It may be somewhere here. So in such an event, it is better to use a belt. So you can raise the arms with the belt, and with an exhale try to put the belt around your feet and hold it. So it may be starting from here. Now one important point to note in this asana is try to keep the back as concave as possible. So don't round the back like this. Try to bring the back in concave position when you bend forward. So it's not called as a downward bending asana. It is called as a forward bending asana. Okay, please note this very, very striking important point in Paschimottanasana. So I'll explain once again. Initially, I start with inhaling, taking the arms over the head, while exhaling, keeping the back as much concave as possible, bringing the chin forward, and at the same time bringing the toes towards the kneecap. Try to reach as forward as possible and put the belt. If you find that after a few weeks or months of practice, the belt is not necessary, you may be able to reach the toe without the belt also. So as I said, the most important part of this asana is trying to maintain a concave back, keeping the chin front and not a convex back like this. So try to reach front in this asana as forward as possible, trying to maintain a concave back. So I'll start again from Samasthiti. Inhale, take the arms over the head. With an exhale, lean and bend forward and try to touch the toe. So I have finished that exhalation. Then I have to start inhaling again. And while inhaling, I have to extend the spine little more forward. And then while exhaling, flex it a little more towards the leg. Now I have reached a position where my hand can go little more further. So what I can do, I can start catching the side of the feet. So I was holding here initially. Now I am trying to hold side of the feet. So after holding the side of the feet, again I take an in-breath, keeping the body forward. And while exhaling, little more flex the body. So you can see it's a blend of extension of your spine and a flexion of your spine. Now after some time, then I feel okay, now I can easily catch the side of the feet. What I'll do, I'll try to catch the heel. Now when I touch the heel and catch the heel, the elbows will come to the ground automatically because the flexibility improves when the spinal movement to the front increases. So now I can go a little more further. With an inhalation, I go farther and try to bring chin forward. Did you observe that I was never trying to put the head down? And I was also not trying to round the back. I'm always traveling to the front. So these points are very important in this asana. That's why I'm explaining in this detail. Then, after reaching the hand on the heel, now I feel that, okay, this is also crossed. I can go further. And then I can interlock the fingers around the heel. You can see the extension of the spine towards the front has improved. And then exhaling, I flex it. Now see the chin has crossed the knees here. The chin has crossed the knee and it is coming to almost the shin bone. This is where the shin bone starts. Then further, when I feel I am able to go even beyond that, then I have to catch the wrist in front of the feet. So try to catch the wrist in front of the feet and try to bring the body forward. And finally, when all the extensions are done, when you finish all those forward moving actions of the spine, in the last moment put the head down. So you see how the journey happened. Initially, I was not able to reach the toe only, I was like this and the back was rounding. So don't worry about whether you are reaching there or not. Keep the back fairly concave, don't round it. bring the navel first. So lead with the navel. So bring the navel initially. Then the chest has to come down. And finally the head has to come down. So this is very, very important point in Paschimottanasana. Never try to round the back like this. So where did I start from? I started from putting the belt, taking a grip on the belt, try to bring the navel front, keeping the chin up, looking front and then looking at the toe. So drishti in this asana is on the toe. So when I feel, yes, my stomach is coming forward, so the bend has started from the pelvic region. The bend in Paschimottanasana should not be done from the top. It should come from the pelvic region. So start bending from the pelvic region. And I reached here, then I got rid of the belt. I said, okay, belt is no more required. I am able to reach the toe. I am not in a hurry to put the head down. I want my stomach and chest to come to the leg first. Head is the last. Got that? So then I catch the toe. After touching the toe, I am catching the toe. Then I catch the side of the feet. Then I go to the heel. Little more extension. Then I try to interlock the fingers. Little more extension. And finally, I try to catch the wrist in front. And then go down. Now I will demonstrate to you how to do this asana. And when I demonstrate, I will not be able to speak. So after doing this asana, you must do a complementary pose. So that complementary pose must have a reverse stretch. Simple asanas which can give that is Purvottanasana or Ushtrasana, which will be covered in other videos. Now I will come to the important points of this asana. As I said in the beginning, the most important point of this asana is the concave back. So try not to bend rounding the back like this. So don't round your back. As I said, try to bend from the pelvic region, not from the lumbar region. So trying to keep the stomach first. The lead is by the navel. So you can see how I concave the back. So I concave the back, keeping the chin front. You can see. So never mistake this asana as a downward bending asana. It's a forward bending asana. So lead with the navel, bring the extension forward and then flex the body down. Bring the extension front and then flex it. Like that, try to maximize the extension of your spine and then go flexion. So it's a blend of extending the spine and flexing the spine. Minimize the rounding of the back. Maximize the concave behavior of the back in Paschimottanasana. This is the most important point of this asana. Another important point in this asana is the drishti in this asana is on the toe and not on the thighs or the knees. So drishti is called protector of the asana. If we look at the right place, the behavior of the asana will be correct. So as I said, since it is a forward moving asana, when the drishti is on the toe, you will not round the back because I am trying to look there. As long as I look at the toe, I try to reach the toe. So it will reduce the rounding of the back and the concave behavior of the back will be protected if we look at the toe. So that is the second most important point. Looking at the right position, the toe. It's called Padayor Agra Drishti. Third important point in this asana is gradual progression. So if we go suddenly into the asana, we may get breathless. So initially don't try to become flat like. So you may be reaching there, but you will start getting breathless there. So each inhale, try to extend the spine and each exhale, try to flex the spine. So inhale, extend, exhale, flex. Inhale, extend, exhale, flex. Inhale, extend, exhale, flex. Like that, progressively reach the asana. Then you will not get breathless. So try to practice this asana with gradual progression. In the final pose, the toes should be pointed to the kneecap. They should not be pointed forward. So when we start the asana, the toes are pointed forward. But when we reach the asana, the toes are pointed backward. Now when the toes are pointed to the kneecap, the back of the body will stretch. The calf muscle, back of the knee, hamstrings. So this asana is called Paschimottanasana. So the entire back part of the body, the west side, including the calf, thighs, buttocks, backbone, till the neck, everywhere should be stretched. It should be elongated. The entire west side of the body should be pulled. Therefore, the toe should be pointed to the kneecap. While doing this asana, there is a lot of compression in the abdominal region. Therefore, it is very important to practice Mula Bandha. The anus should be locked upwards into the body so that it's not protruded. So when you compress all the internal organs, the Mula Bandha must be done in this Paschimottanasana. The breathing in this asana is very slow, relaxed, deep and Ujjayi controlled breaths. Therefore, try to extend the spine in inhalations and flex the spine in exhalations. If you divide your breath like that, it will be very easy to practice this asana. And you will get all the benefits of Paschimottanasana by practicing slow, relaxed breathing. Now, let me recap the important points of this asana. The first important point is of maintaining a concave back. Try to bend from the pelvic region, not from the lumbar region. So try to maintain a concave back and not a rounded back while bending in this Paschimottanasana. Lead with the navel. Try to reach the navel first on the leg, on the thighs, and then try to bring the chest towards the leg and finally bring the head down, and don't do the reverse. So this front moving, the forward moving bend is the main characteristic of Paschimottanasana. Another important point of this asana is drishti is on the toe. Don't look down. If you look down, the spine will start rounding or curving. Try to look at the toe and extend the body forward. Another important point is gradual progression. So don't suddenly bend into the asana. Try to extend the spine while inhaling and flex the spine while exhaling. Take 5 long Ujjayi breaths in Paschimottanasana. You can stay even longer maybe around 1 minute also, you can stay in this asana and come back to Samasthiti. Another important point is that you must do a complementary pose after this. This is a forward bend. You have to complement this with a reverse of this, like Purvottanasana or Ushtrasana, and change the direction of the bend received on the spinal column. I think I've covered all the important points of Paschimottanasana. Follow these important tips and practice. Namaste.